everyone, it's Gabby. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my January wrap-up. January was such a fantastic reading month for me. I finally got out of my reading slump and I'm starting off 2019 really strong. So I'm really happy with all the books I read in January. I absolutely loved them all. And yeah, let's just jump right in because I have 6 books to talk about, which I feel like that is the most I've had in a while. So the first book I want to talk about is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I didn't read this entire book in January because I had already started it back in November, December, and I had read about half of it. So I listened to the other half, which I think is still really good because this is over a 600 page book. I think they're like 670 pages or something like that. Let's just double check. Yeah, 670 pages. So the fact that I still read over 300 plus pages is really great. And I have such mixed feelings about this book. So I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. But I have to say, I am really pissed with the ending. So I do have a reading vlog of Lady Midnight. I will link it down below, and I kind of go on a little Lady Midnight rant, which is funny because you're gonna think, well, why are you going on a rant if you gave it 5 out of 5 stars? Okay, so here's my thing. So first, the beginning was a little slow because we are getting introduced to new characters. What I love is that we're not getting reintroduced to the world, which is really great. She started this series with the intention of us having already read The Mortal Instruments, Infernal Devices, so we already know the world. We know the Shadowhunter world, so that's great. She didn't re-explain any of that. But we do have new characters, which I adored. I absolutely loved Emma and Julian and all of the siblings and Ty and Livy. It's just great cast of characters. I feel like the characters in this book are a lot more mature. I also think that her writing style was a lot more sophisticated in this one compared to her other 2 series. So this book is definitely more adult. There's a lot more adult content. There is a lot of violence. There are some torture scenes. There's definitely more romantic scenes compared to The Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices. And there is a character ship in here that I absolutely adored. And yeah, so just it was really good, but it was the ending that just killed me. So my gripe with the ending was that in the last 10 pages it was just so cliche of an ending, and it just kind of enrages me a little bit. And I understand why it was done. It's done to add drama, you know, to the story. But the other books are massive. Like Lord of Shadows is really chunky, and Queen of Air and Darkness, I believe, is over 800 pages. So there is a lot of content that's more than likely going to be going on. So I feel like we don't need as much angsty romance. One of the things that Cassandra Clare does a lot is angsty romance, and I'm kind of sick of it, to be honest. So I'm not gonna go into spoilers, don't worry, but it was just really cliche ending, and I'm hoping that Lord of Shadows kind of doesn't fall into that second book slump, and then Queen of Air and Darkness, like, you know, brings it all together and, you know, hypes it up again. Anyways, I did give it a 5 out of 5 stars because the plot, the characters, the writing style, everything was just really good. And a 5 out of 5 star, like, material and content. It was just, the ending just wasn't for me personally, but I could understand why a lot of people who love YA and angsty romance and stuff would adore the ending, because it is definitely shocking. It just wasn't for me, but I'm not gonna dock that because that's my problem, not the books. Next book I read was The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the series that Hannah and I are reading for our Muggle Studies book club, and our live show is going to be Saturday, February 9th. So I really hope you're able to come join us. We're going to be discussing The Raven Boys, and we're also going to be discussing The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Anyways, The Raven Boys. This is a reread for me, actually. I had already read this series quite a while ago, though. I read The Raven Boys when Blue Lily Lily Blue had just been released, so it's been quite a while since I've read it, and I adored it. This is a very, very complex story, and I loved rereading it because I was able to pick up on things that I hadn't picked up the first time. So to give a quick synopsis, we follow our main character, Blue, and she is from a family full of psychics, and she herself is not psychic, but she acts like a battery source for other psychics, and anything magical or anything like kind of paranormal, she really amps up all of the power. And for her whole life, she has been told that if she kisses her true love, he will die. So that is kind of Blue's story. And then we also follow the Aglenby boys, or the Raven boys. They are four boys who go to the Aglenby prep school. The boys that we're following are Gansey, Ronan, Adam, and Noah. And they are looking for this long lost Welsh king, and it is said that if you wake up this Welsh king, he will grant you a wish. These characters are so fantastic. They're so unique. What I love so much about this story is not only is it really complex story, it deals with ley lines and different magics. It's so freaking cool, but also it just really, really deals with friendship. It's awesome. I'm really excited to see what Hannah thinks of the Raven Boys, and I hope you guys are able to join our live show because there is a lot that I want to discuss. Also, I listened to the audiobook of it. Not my favorite audiobook, but I still thought it was really good. The next book I read was The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chachki, and this book I enjoyed. I was sent an e-arc from it from the publisher, so thank you very much. I thought it was a solid start to a new series. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed the characters. It was kind of a heist book, so we follow our main character, Severin, and he is looking for this treasure to regain his family inheritance, and in order to do that, he hires a bunch of misfits to join him in this like treasure hunt heist type of plot. I really enjoyed that. I thought the magic system was really cool. Like, it dealt with like forging and dealing with like matter and mind, and I just thought it was really cool, like forging different elements. The politics was really great too, like the different houses and stuff was really, really cool. I enjoyed the characters as well. I feel like they weren't fleshed out as much as I would have liked them, but like I said, it's a good start to a series, and so we can get more character development in the later books. My problem was the writing style. I felt like it was a little bit choppy. It didn't transition really well. It kind of skipped around. Scenes just ended and there was like no transition to the next scene. So that's kind of why I docked it a little bit, was just like the writing style, and I felt like at times the plot was a little bit messy, even though I did enjoy it. So like I said, a solid book, 3 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it. Next, I want to discuss The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. I freaking adored this book so much. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I will say I enjoyed The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue a little bit better, but I adored Felicity's point of view, and I loved that romance isn't the center in this book. Like, in The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, we have a lot of chaos happens, and same with this one, but we really focus on Monty and his struggle, the fact that he's in love with his best friend. And in Felicity's point of view, she's very different. She's very independent, and this is really more on her journey to want to study medicine. And you know, at this time, this is historical fiction, and at the time of, you know, the 1700s, women couldn't study medicine. It was more of a field for men, and it's really her journey throughout that and kind of finding herself, and I really, really enjoyed it, along with like everything that happened. This book was so fantastic. I love the medicine aspect of it. I work in the field of medicine, so I was really able to appreciate when she talks about like the human body and different things that she does, and it's actually like quite correct. Like Mackenzie Lee did her research. I really enjoyed this. Once again, this is our Muggle Studies book club pick for January because we are doing 2 books a month. We pick 1 book and then we picked a series. So the next 2 books are graphic novels. I want to read more graphic novels this year. So the first one I read was I Hate Fairyland. I read this book because Hannah recently read it and she really enjoyed it, and we both kind of have the same humor. If you like humor from like Saga or like Deadpool, then I think you would really enjoy I Hate Fairyland. Basically, we follow the story of a young girl and she gets sucked into a magical world called Fairyland, but she doesn't want to be there. She wants to go home. So they tell her, you just need to find this key or something to find your way back, or this hidden door, hidden key, I can't remember. So she goes on the journey to find it, and now it's 30 years later and she still can't find it, and she is pissed. And there's a lot of violence. There is some inappropriate language. I really love the illustrations, the colors, everything was it was very like bright and whimsical, but it's also dark as well, and I really liked like the contrast, the story, but like all the bright colors. I thought it was like bright and angry, and it worked really well. So I really enjoyed it, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. The last graphic novel I read was Adulthood is a Myth by Sarah Anderson, and it's just kind of like a collection of cartoons and just random stuff that talks about adulthood that is just so funny. I was laughing out loud. I was crying because I was laughing so hard. So let me just show you like a couple of things that like we think about. So it's like she's under a pillow and she says she doesn't want to get up, then says, if I get up I have to see people, and then just anxiety, so you go back into bed. So like here's another really good one, how you clean your room. You basically just like stuff everything under your bed or in a closet. You know, we all do it. So that really funny. They also have some really good ones like staying up all night reading. It's really funny, just like humor about real life, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Alright guys, well that is it for this video. I know it's kind of a lengthy one because I have really been wanting to go more in detail with my reading wrap-ups so that you guys can get like a sense of what the book is about, and if it's something that intrigues you. I really want to kind of give a synopsis and a mini review for each book during my wrap up. So I really hope you liked that, even though it made the video a little bit longer. Comment down below, let me know some of the books that you read in January, and if you read any of the ones that I did, if you enjoyed them as much as I did, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!